The empire that erased its own history. What if an entire empire, powerful? Today we uncover the chilling mystery of the empire that erased its own history. Thousands of years ago, on a vast plateau surrounded by cliffs and deep valleys, stood the formidable empire of Solinar. Solinar was known for its magnificent architecture, towering stone citadels, golden bridges, and grand temples that caught the morning sun like fire. Its people mastered metalwork long before their neighbors. They forged tools, weapons, and delicate art pieces that travelers admired for centuries. The Solinari were organized, intelligent, and devoted to knowledge. Their libraries stored scrolls covering astronomy, healing, engineering, and even philosophies about the nature of time. Under the rule of Emperor Malin the Wise, Solinar reached its peak. Scholars from distant lands journeyed just to see its legendary archives. But deep inside the empire, something dark was growing. One day, royal scholars discovered a series of ancient inscriptions hidden beneath the oldest temple. They described a prophecy warning that the empire's downfall would come not from outsiders, but from its own memories. It claimed, when the past becomes too heavy, the empire will crumble under its own history. The emperor dismissed it at first. But as years passed, disturbing events began to occur. Factions formed within the nobility, each arguing about the true history of Solinar. Some believed the empire's glorious past was a burden preventing progress. To prevent the prophecy from coming true, political Emperor Malin made a controversial and irreversible decision. He commanded that every written record of Solinar's history be destroyed. Scrolls were burned. Even storytellers and historians were forbidden to speak of the past. But as punishment grew severe, silence became the empire's new law. At first, libraries that once glowed with knowledge turned into empty halls. Temples that once celebrated heritage became blank stone shells. Generations grew up knowing almost nothing of their ancestors, only that remembering was forbidden. To ensure the erasure was complete, the emperor created a special order known as the Keepers of the Veil, whose job was to remove any trace of history that resurfaced. And for a time, it worked. But a nation without memory slowly loses its identity. Within 2 generations, the prophecy began to ask questions the empire could not answer. Solinar stood strong. Who built our cities? Why do we follow these laws? Where did our ancestors come from? With no story to guide them, the people of Solinar lost their unity. The empire that tried to erase its past unintentionally erased its future. One generation declared independence. Without shared history, no one felt loyalty to Solinar anymore. By the time the last emperor took the throne, Solinar had already dissolved. Just a quiet fading, like a dream forgotten upon waking. Today, archaeologists find ruins scattered across the plateau. Towers without symbols, temples without inscriptions, statues without names, because it chose to remove its own legacy. Its story serves as a strange warning. Solinar left almost nothing behind. A nation can survive war, disaster, even time itself. But it cannot survive the loss of its identity. This was the tale of the empire that erased its own history. A mystery not forgotten by the world, but erased by the empire itself.